Okay, we're recording. Is that okay?
Okay,
Yeah,
we're good. Okay, I promise you guys, I will start deleting stuff off my computer. Way too many photos and videos and all the Coach Live stuff. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get us started. Megan is going to be talking to us today about kind of pushing for rank, things like that. Like, it's a super exciting time. Unfortunately, since we don't get to go to Summit this year, we won't be on the big stage recognition, but I do think that Beachbody is still going to probably do something. So I love that that April 30th kind of cutoff to hit the next rank advancement is a really good, next couple of weeks push for us. And so I really want to encourage you guys to take this time to really lean into your business to go for it for sure. So Megan's going to be giving us some tactical and then mindset tips around that. So I wanted to introduce her. You were talking the other day because I did a call for her team about how we met, and I think it was literally in like a Dynasty team page or something like that. It was like looking for success partners type deal, and I was like, oh, we got a lot in common. Like, she has dogs and we're both middle school teachers and things like that. So it was kind of, and I think we were both newlyweds, or I was getting ready to be married and you were a newlywed or something like that. So we just had a lot in common, and former athletes. So it was just fun. There's just so many different ways that you can connect with other coaches. And I want to encourage you guys to always reach out to potential, like success partners that maybe are outside of our team, because they probably do something just a little bit differently than what our team does that might go, oh, I could do that too. I've never thought of it that way. So let me introduce Megan. She is a 6-star diamond and then a 1-star in her second business center. Whenever you hit 2-star, you get to open up this second business center. And I know it's like really like confusing at the time, but it is a game changer for the income part of your business for sure. She is a 2-time elite team leader of her team. They were the top 75 for the past 2 years. An all-star legend, which means that she has hit Success Club every single month for at least 2 years, and she has been Success Club 10 for 54 months or something like that. She's the same way like me. I'm like, I don't really know how many months it's been, but she's consistent. She is consistently bringing new women, helping new women in her business. Her husband's name is Aaron, and as far as I know, he still is teaching and coaching, correct? Okay, yeah, so he's a teacher also and coaching. She has 2 dogs. She is very proud dog mom for sure, and a retired teacher as of 2019, 2020. So that would have been last year, right? Was your last year that you taught? So this is her first kind of full school year, kind of a crazy school year to not be teaching, but her first year as a full-time coach. So I'm going to grab my notepad, my pen, and get ready to take some notes. And if you guys have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat box, and I'll let you go ahead and get started, Meg.
All right, perfect. Yeah, so it was kind of funny. I reached out to Meg because I was like, well, first of all, she's literally like who I want to be. And so it was super scary to reach out to someone like who is a step ahead of you, like a step or 2 ahead of you. And they always say, like, if you want to, be like somebody else, or if you want to, I don't know, grow, I guess, like it's a really good thing to reach out to somebody like who is where you want to be. And so that was just definitely something for me that was, I don't know. It was kind of nerve-wracking, but it definitely helped my business just to kind of like see where I could potentially go. And so I do have slides, so I'm going to share those real quickly with you, if that's okay. Otherwise, I'm total squirrel brain, and I would be like on 600 different tangents. So let me click present here real quick. All this computer stuff early in the morning. Okay, can you guys see this okay? Yes, perfect. All right. So, the one thing that I've really learned in this business is that no matter what's happening left and what's happening right, like your focus has to be like down on your own path and create your own roadmap. And so, like, there's coaches who come in and 3 months later they're top in the company. There's coaches who come in and 6 years down the road they can barely hit elite. There's coaches who come in and do the things, and once time kind of takes over, things happen for them and stuff like that. And so it's just like to remind yourself that, this is your journey. This is your, path to being a coach. And I just want to kind of I'm going to kind of walk you through my journey, I guess, and then also how you can like continue on your journey or hopefully take some pieces away from it. So just really quickly, because it's not like super exciting or anything, but when I started coaching, I was like that coach who waited for my coach to tell me what to do. She literally just said like, hey, go sign up your hubby. I was like, okay, I did. Now what? She's like, okay, go find another person and get to Emerald. I'm like, okay, now what? I just never really took the reins in my business. And the first month I was a coach, I think it was like September or something, I decided to coach, and I helped 3 people because I wasn't really coaching, but she like, I don't know, needed me to get to Emerald, and so I was like such a game, player in the whole thing. And so I helped 3 people, and then I just stopped, and I was like, well, I did what she wanted me to do. And then I just like stopped doing anything in my business. And then the next month came in October, and she was like, okay, like go push to help, 6 people. And so I pushed really hard, to go, or, 5 or 6 people. I really pushed hard to do that. And then in November was Team Cup. And so that was kind of when the Band-Aid got ripped off from coaching, because the 2 prior months, I was just doing the things because my coach kind of told me to, where you guys know as Team Cup is your chance to like get creative, have fun, and like find joy in your business and try to help as many people as you can. And that was like my biggest month of hitting Success Club ever. I think I was like SC 32, and I literally like thought I was like Beyonce walking around my house. And the crazy thing was though, I never built like my hubby. I never built someone else to Emerald. I just like signed everybody underneath of me. Like I literally could have hit diamond in less than 3 months, but I was that coach who was waiting for someone to tell me what to do. I was waiting for somebody to say like, here's your next step. And so like just basically along the way, like from, September, October, all the way till like February or March of the next year, I didn't hit diamond because it wasn't important for my coach at that time. And so it wasn't important for me. And so I just want to like tell you guys that you have all of the resources and all of the tools in front of you to be successful. You don't have to wait for permission from, Megan or whoever your coach is to like say, okay, like now you're going to focus on this, or let's focus on this. Like you decide your own path. And looking back at it, I wish I would have hit diamond, within 2 or 3 months if I had the opportunity to. But I learned a lot from like kind of playing under that wing of my coach and not like branching and like going for my goals. Because when I did hit diamond in March of that next year, I hit it and I was like, cool, now what? Like, it wasn't really my goal. It was like that list, that thing on my list that my coach was like, okay, Emerald, okay, like, diamond. And I was like, all right, cool, now what? And by that time, like I had kind of been like, just that very like basic coach hitting SC, 10. And then I literally would close my computer and I wouldn't work the business and all the things. So I was just a very like basic coach, doing the bare minimum, and I wasn't having any joy in the business. And I'll be honest, I hit diamond, and like a month later I was looking at my husband, like, well, fiance at the time, or yeah, husband, and I was like, I just don't really know if coaching's for me. This isn't fun. Like, it's not exciting. I'm getting results, I feel amazing, but like, I don't know, it's just not the thing. And like I sat down and I really tried to figure out like my why and like my purpose of becoming a coach. And so it's your journey, and like taking reins of it and like finding your why and finding like the excitement that brings it back to you. And that's what kind of took my business from, hitting diamond and kind of being like, cool, now what, to like pushing for elite and pushing for, top 75 in the company, and like having all these goals and all of these things and stuff, because I really found that it was my journey, and that I could like make it whatever I needed to do. So along the journey, I hit diamond, and I realized there was no parade in my living room. Like there was no like millions of dollars like coming in my way. I was like, cool, I hit diamond, and like it just wasn't like the end all be all. And so I tell my coaches like diamond is not the end all be all for you. You're still making commission. You're still like um you're kind of just like a really glamorified emeralds, basically. Like you just have a couple extra people under you. And I was like, diamond's really not that end all be all. It's definitely like pushing for star diamond. And so it took me from hitting diamond to get to 1 star. It took me almost another year because again, I was sitting there and I was just kind of like, what is this next goal for me? Like, I'm not really sure. If I don't have something I'm pushing for, like, I'll be honest, I'm definitely the person who's like just sitting back and relaxing. And so that's why I'm so goal oriented. But I wanted to go to NLC. I heard about it. So I was a diamond coach, and I knew like I could actually be premier if I, helped 2 people go diamond. And so I was like, well, cool. So I built my hubby, and I was like, okay, now what do I do? And I was like, well, obviously I have to wait for someone else, whatever. And instead of recruiting, instead of like asking for coaches, instead of like asking my friends if they wanted to coach, I was just like hoping and praying that second like diamond would pop from somewhere. And my best friend was one of my emeralds from when I hit diamond, but she just signed her mom and sister, like wasn't really interested in this whole like big ordeal. And so I actually made it to NLC. They lowered the requirement from 2 star to 1 star. And I was freaking pissed. I was like, I don't want to go. This is stupid. I'm only a 1 star. I'm supposed to be a 2 star to go to NLC. Like I felt so fake walking in there, and like all this recognition, all of this stuff. And I was like, this is not what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be like, I'm a 2 star. I earned this spot. Like I'm excited to be here. And I actually had my like hotel room paid for, all the things, because I was working the business. I was just hoping and praying for like that second diamond. But anyway, I went to NLC, and that was kind of like that moment for me that like I walked in there with like Emily Faber and like Amy Rada or Amy Bailey now, and like coaches like that who walked in there as like, I think they were like 4 or 5, 6 star at the time. It was insane. And I was just like this little baby 1 star diamond coach. And I remember sitting on the bus with this girl, and I was like talking with her back and forth. She's like, yeah, like we're 4 star. We're almost 5 star. We're pushing for elite this year. And I'm like, I just built my hubby to diamond, and like, that's all I got. Like I barely made it here. And so what I took from NLC was, you guys, that it's your own journey. And I got to listen to Kim Fitzpatrick while I was there, which she was absolutely freaking incredible. And just to hear her story from her going from nothing to top of the company in Canada, and just seeing her team blow up. And like, she goes, I found my bigger purpose. And it still gives me goosebumps. I like just remember like writing down like, what's your purpose? And I didn't really have one before. It was just checking off the boxes for my coach, for my team, because I'm a team player. Like if my coach is like, hey, like, go do this, I'm like, cool, I'll do it, and then I'll come back and like do some more. Like that's who I am. And luckily, like, serving has come back and helped me obviously in that thing. But that first thing I want you guys to really think about is like, diamond is not the end all be all. It's what's beyond that. And it's how you get there. And it's like how you get beyond that. And so I'm going to walk you through and like show you how simple diamond is, but then I'm also going to show you like the future part, like the beyond part. So if there is like, people on here who are diamond, I still have stuff for you, I swear. But basically I came home from NLC, and I literally was like, okay, Megs, like, what's your purpose? Like, where are you going to go with this business? I was a busy teacher. I was coaching. I was taking calculus online. Like I was doing all of the things. I did not have time for like this fluff stuff. And so I just became like super duper intentional with like my actual business. And at that time, my husband was selling farm equipment and came home and was like, I'm not really loving what I'm doing. And it's been 5 years. Like I'm too young to hate my job. And I was like, well, I'm a teacher and I don't get paid crap. So I don't know how you're going to get back through school. So that was kind of like that why for us. I was going to really push and help as many people as I could. And like Megan shared on our team call, like she's income driven. And I didn't know it at the time, but I definitely am income driven. But I had a purpose like attached to the income. So like it wasn't salesy. It wasn't gross. It was like, I have a place to go and this is where I'm going. So anyway, I had that why to put my hubby through school. And now that he's on like year 3 as a teacher, every day he walks out of the door to go to school, like he's got a smile on his face, he's got all of his stuff packed, and like it never gets old, you guys. It never gets old because that was like our vision. That was our why. And so, I was obviously struggling with like, things on my end and like with organization since I was crazy busy. And once I realized that like, once I got my foundation set, I could help other people. And so I helped my hubby. And then I was also like focused on helping other women. And I went from 1-star after NLC, you guys, to hitting 6-star qualification in 4 months. Like we went from like that really fixed mindset that really like, I can't do this, or like, I just am checking the boxes off kind of thing, to I got home and I was like, you know what? I'm tired of living month to month. Like if you're a teacher, you get it. You have this much money every month. It doesn't matter if you were the teacher of the year or you were the crappiest teacher. Like you only have this much money to spend this month. And budgeting, was huge. And even though I was like spent in my classroom and left exhausted every day and put everything out there, I literally felt like I was overworked and underpaid because I felt like I had the best math lesson that day or something. Or, I would hear, the rumors about other teachers like, oh, they didn't make us do anything today. And I'm like, what? Like I'm over here like stressing out and I'm getting paid less than they are. Like it was just this crazy thing. And so I just created some goals for myself, and I created a vision for myself and for my family, and took those goals and kind of made them into push goals. And so like I told you before, we went from, 1 to 6-star in a short amount of time, but that was because I made that switch. I drew the line in the sand and I said, okay, I'm done being like that almost girl. I'm done being like the girl who was the one that barely made it to NLC and was like the little baby coach there. I like had goals to like be on stage. Like I wanted to speak at NLC. I want to, raise the bar and stuff. So just kind of like having a vision and stuff, and also understanding that like, when you have that mindset switch, you're going to attract the people you're looking for. So before I was definitely like in this little hole, I guess, with my business, just checking off the boxes. I always check off my tracker. I still have a tracker. Like I always check the boxes off, but I literally was just doing that, checking off the boxes. And once I had this push goal of like, okay, I need to find 5 amazing people. I need to put amazing stuff out there. I need to ask for amazing leaders, and I need to lead from the front. And I took my monthly Success Club goals. I took my monthly, recruiting goals and tried to turn them into weekly goals. So I had that focus every 7 days. So I didn't even know that like Wednesday was the first, except for because we were running like a thing on our team, but I don't ever know when the end of the month is. I don't have an end of the month like, oh crap, I have to hit Success Club, because I focus on weekly. I focus on Wednesday to Thursday. Well, I guess like Thursday to Wednesday on my tracker, but that's what I focus on. And I'm like, this week, what do I want to do? How many people do I want to help? How many coaches do I want to recruit? So when people are like, oh my gosh, what did you hit SE for last month? I was like, I don't know, but I helped 4 people last week. That's all I know. Like, that's my focus. And when I started to make that shift, you guys, that really helped me go from barely hitting diamond, barely hitting 1-star, like dragging my feet, to hitting, 6-star and already advancing, a few diamonds in this year. So just really taking that, like the direction from your coach, because I'm sure she has it for you, but then also like putting a why behind it so it means way more to you, and then changing your goals from like just hitting it to like pushing for it. So here's obviously what diamond looks like. It's super simple. And I wanted to use the most boring graphic ever because some people make it so hard. Like diamond is just a decision, you guys. Like it is so simple. You have 4 people on one leg. You have 4 people on the other leg. You guys know all of this stuff. The green little guy just means they have 2 people underneath of them. Right? So like a hubby, a parent, whoever it is. And so understand that this is your journey. I have had coaches who hit diamond in like 6 days. I've had coaches who hit diamond in 30 days. I've had coaches who hit diamond in 2 years. Like it is your journey and it's your decision until you understand the importance of diamond for yourself, but then also what's beyond diamond. And then making those goals like I told you before. So what I always tell my coaches is diamond is 12 people. But if you're focused on 12 people, you're probably only going to find 8 to 10 people. And by the time you find those extra 4 or 5 people, 4 or 5 of them may or may not have dropped off. And so I always tell my coaches to shoot for 20 people. Go save 20 lives. And when you're done saving 20 lives, come back. And normally when they come back, they are diamond and they are like 6 and 6 or 7 and 7. They have, stronger emeralds. And so they're not like trying to just like hit the bare minimum. They're already like beyond that. And when you're shooting for 20, once you get to 24, you technically just built yourself to 1 star. And so that's where my coaches are like, holy crap, I did what? Like there is no, okay, I hit diamond, now what? It's I hit diamond and I'm on my way to 1 star. And so I just have them make a list. Like I literally put it on my whiteboard, like 1 through 20 every single month. Like that's my goal. And if it's not my goal, like I can't ask my coaches to do it. I make a list and I obsess over that list. And, Megan shared on our team call that she uses like pictures of her and Zach and like her and like shares her list of people. And I used to be that person that hit the stock photos and I was like, well, crap, like this is cool. So like this whole week I've been sharing photos of me and like my list of people. And I've had more people that were like, I want to be with you. I want to do this with you. Then more so, I want to join your challenge and all of that stuff. And so just making that list and like sharing it and obsessing over helping 20 people, talking about it. When you say it, when it comes out of your mouth, it comes into your life. When you share it on your social media, I'm looking for 20 people and these are the people I'm looking for. Super busy teachers who are at home right now, like binge eating and stress eating because they have all of these lessons to prepare and no one's going to actually use them. And like, there's no way to figure out if they're actually going to, make this thing or do this thing, but I'm sitting here and I'm going to show up for them because that's what I do. And like, maybe that's the person you're looking for, but like getting really serious with those kinds of people. And like, what does diamond mean for you? But then also putting yourself aside and understanding what diamond would mean for your team. And when I have coaches on my team who are, baby emeralds, and they're like, I want to hit diamond because I want to help our team hit elite this year. Those are my people. The people on my team who are like, oh my gosh, I'm so focused on diamond. I love that for them, but they're probably not going to be my people because they probably won't help our team get to elite because they're very just like, not selfish people, but they're just very focused on themselves, not so much like the big team piece of it. And so just understand like diamond is awesome and I love it. And I'm so thankful for all of my diamonds on my team. But what's crazy is like, we're pushing for elite this year and obviously like it's year 3. So all of my diamonds or all of my people on my team from the last 2 years don't count this year. And so it's like, what got you here is not going to get you there. And understanding that with diamond, understanding that with 1 star, with 2 star and beyond. And so just really understand, like, if you have the opportunity this year to rank advance to diamond or even to star diamond, because obviously that helps your team, but just understanding that it's not you hitting diamond, it's like your entire team is hitting diamond and star diamond. And I'm sure you get recognized out of the, wazoo, because that's like, Meg's thing and stuff, but also like understanding, like when I say my team is an elite team, it's a team. I didn't do it myself. I could get myself to like 3 star, sure, but like I can't get myself to elite. That's a team goal. And so just really understanding that you're a huge game changer in your guys' team and stuff as well. And I always tell my coaches, like once they hit diamond, they kind of get this like swagger of themselves. Like one of my girls, she hit diamond, she's in qualification right now. And like overnight, she went from like dog mom, she has a son, and like she is working from home right now, but like she just kind of went from this person to like, I'm this effing amazing woman and I'm going places. Do you want to go with me or not? Like her like swagger literally just took like this huge like switch from hitting diamond. And it's crazy because it's just like a rank, but at the same time, like when you help 12 people and change their lives and you hit diamond, like you get swagger and you deserve the swagger and you need to celebrate it and stuff. So just understanding, super simple, mapping it out, like just making sure you're obsessing of like beyond 12 people, because it's not just 12, like it's beyond 12 people. And then like, as far as like diamond, if you are a diamond coach right now, think about this in your first or second, like wherever you're trying to build your first diamond or second diamond underneath of you. But it's definitely just a decision. But I wanted to show you guys and just talk to you guys about the fact that like when I was a diamond coach, I was straight commission, obviously. Once I hit 1 star, I was almost still straight commission because I built my hubby to 1 star. And but it wasn't until I had a couple emeralds who were like pushing and helping people that I really saw like my income grow. And so this is just letting you know that like you have control of your hubby's account and of you. And if you haven't signed your hubby up, like I'm assuming you have some sort of game plan, but if that's like something that you're working towards, signing him up was one of the most important things I've ever done. And I'm so thankful to my upline for telling me to sign up my hubby, even if I didn't necessarily understand it, even if I was like, okay, I'm doing what you tell me to do. Because like there's just an opportunity to build yourself really strong, and then having like another account to kind of capitalize on that. So I always tell my coaches, focus on your 12 to 20 people, getting yourself to diamond, but then also building yourself to what's called a strong diamond. And so like when my coaches, it takes them a little bit longer, but when they hit diamond, they're strong diamonds. They don't normally drop. And so like out of 3 years of hitting 6-star, we're 6-star right now, and that's hard for other coaches to say. Like a lot of them hit 6-star and then they drop back to 1 or 2 and then back back and forth. And don't do that to your coach. Like it gives us like gray hair. So here's what to do. Like hitting diamond. So you have 4 people underneath of you on both sides, and you have your 2 emeralds. Okay. So then what your next thing is to always continue to build more emeralds. And so a strong emerald or a strong diamond for me, I guess, would be 6 and 6, maybe 7 and 7, and having like 2 emeralds on both sides, just in case. And then once you're a strong diamond, you go to like your weak leg, which is probably where your hubby is. And you just start building that baby to diamond. And like, that's what got me from commission to 1-star and then like pushing for 2-star. And, along the way, when you get that swagger of hitting diamond, when you get the swagger of shouting out your own emerald coaches, when you get the swagger of shouting out your hubby as your new diamond, like people are like, okay, what is this girl doing? I need to be a part of it. And I like, you have that mindset switch and people will like start to be like, okay, I want to coach with you. Okay, this makes sense. And so I always have my coaches, focus on building yourself to diamond, and then make sure you're a strong diamond. So like building more emeralds, finding more working coaches, and then you can start to focus on your hubby. And so what I have always done, you guys, and I still do it today, is I hit Success Club 12 as fast as I possibly can. I help 6 people. And so we're at 7 right now. So like I hit my goal for the month is 7 people. So then now when I wake up today, I start to like put out fires underneath of my accounts. So like my hubby and my mom, or whatever it is. So if like Aaron needs 1 person or 2 people just to kind of beef up his legs, or, if my mom needs to beef up her legs or something like that, then that's kind of where I put out fires. And then I go right back to me for the rest of the month. And that's what's helped me build a strong foundation and a strong business. But then also my coaches see that. They see that I hit Success Club super early. And then they see that I make sure that my accounts are always set. Like my husband, I think, has dropped diamond once in 2.5 years. Like it's not a question. And so just really pushing yourself and taking those monthly goals to weekly goals, that's like where the things start to happen for you. So like, let's say you're at 1-star, getting to 2-star is literally like where the parade goes through your living room and like where you feel like you're like throwing money in the air. Like that's literally when the magic happens. And it did for me. Like I told you guys I could have hit diamond in 3 months, but it took me like a lot longer than that. When I opened my second business center, I had it to diamond in probably like, I think it was like 2 weeks, but I was waiting for that emerald. So it ended up being 3 weeks. And so here's just kind of like my, I don't know, my journey, I guess, but just to kind of show you some things. But I know that people are always say like, easier said than done. I can, I'll hit diamond, blah, blah, blah. And, I want diamond so bad. And then I'm like, okay, actually it's easier once you've actually hit it. It's not like, saying that you're going to get there, but actually hitting it and like looking back, like, holy crap, I totally did that and I can do it again. It's the same thing if you like do like a scary ride at the park or your weight loss journey, or we just did the ultimate reset and that like was so scary for us, but like once we were done, we're like, oh, that was cool. So just understanding like, once you've hit diamond, it's so easy to do it again and again and again and again, which is great because you have the opportunity once you hit 2-star. So hitting diamond, obviously you have, it took me, 5 to 6 months to build. It was just 12 people. I ended up building my hubby to emerald, and I was like waiting for somebody to like hit so I could like finally rank advance. So just being like super proactive as an actual diamond coach will get you into like, that momentum mode and stuff moving forward. But for me, when I opened my second CBC, I literally hit it in 2 to 3 weeks because I was like looking for working coaches. I knew they were going to be my challengers because I recruit, but I also like my best coaches are my challengers. And I mean, because they have to go through the process anyways. And so it was like challengers was, everyone says it was a slow process. I'm like, that's like the fastest process, like than bringing in a random stranger. But I always bring in, you know, a good amount of challengers, and then I really help them to get results. And like week 2, maybe week 3, I'm like, hey, have you ever considered coaching? Your stuff's going to come out. You know, do you have 2 people who want to do this with you? And so that helped me build my second CBC to diamond super quickly. And along the way, like I had coaches who wanted a piece of what I was doing. And so just if you have the vision of like the next step of like what's going to happen in the future, people have that same thing for you and stuff. And so now I push to build a diamond every month. So like I push to find 8 people and I push to create 2 emeralds on my team. And so I tell my coaches, like, I'm always creating diamonds every single month. So if I'm working with someone who's working to get to diamond, they don't like just think like, sure, she's just doing this to do this. No, she knows I'm building another diamond right alongside of her. Sometimes I build 2 diamonds. Obviously they're not necessarily considered diamonds, but number wise and things like that, like I push to build 2, if not 3 diamonds every single month. So my coaches, you know, have that roadmap, and so do I. I show them, I still fill it out myself. So if you're a diamond already, get that diamond map and like start to fill that out. Start to show like, this is what my next diamond looks like, or this is what this next diamond looks like. And so, just really understanding that it is your journey. You can hit it as quickly as you would like to. I do, like my team does build with discount coaches, so I don't want to like tell you to do one thing or the other, but we build with discount coaches. However, we get them results, and then those discount coaches hopefully turn to emerald coaches by either asking like, do you want to get your stuff paid for? Like, do you have a couple people to do this with you? Or if we have people who, like a lot of our challengers use both Shakeology and Performance Line. So we say like, hey, you could actually sign your hubby up underneath of you if you want to. And then if you have another friend, like it kind of just helps you build your business already. So just keeping it super simple that way. But just understand, like once you've hit diamond, you're seriously going to look back and ask any 1-star diamond coach. Once you look back, you're like, oh, that was diamond. Okay. Like that was kind of, you know, I can't believe it took me that long. And that's why you see people go from diamond to 2-star overnight, because once you hit it, it's so much easier to do it again and again and again. And so that's just kind of like my 2 cents, I guess, on diamond. It's not an end all be all. But once you hit it, be prepared to hit it again and again and again and again, and because it will happen for you. And like that momentum and stuff is built up as well. And obviously like the compound effect kind of comes into play. Okay, last thing. So next steps, like what I want you to do right now is I want you to get out a piece of paper and draw out this like super simple diamond map. So I want you to like put you at the top. And then I want you to put in like your 4 circles, and I want you to actually fill them out. If they're all full, cool. Like fill them out. And then I want you to like look at your emeralds, and I want you to see it on a piece of paper, like writing it out and actually seeing it and like visualizing it. If you are not diamond yet, like this is going to help you to show you how close you actually are to diamond. You know, I could look in my back office right now and say, wow, like we are never going to get to this crazy goal. But then I could like go through and count all the people. Oh my gosh, we're 7 sales away from, you know, 10-star or something like that. And so like that 7 is like, oh my gosh, we're 7 people away. We can totally do this, versus just like looking at this giant downline, like, oh my gosh, this is never going to happen. So actually map out your legs. If you're a diamond, map out like your next diamond. If you're not diamond, obviously this is going to like totally help you. And then I want you to actually like set a goal, like a goal of like when you're going to hit it, but then also a success club goal. So like how many people are you actually going to help? So like if you're looking at your diamond map and you have 4 holes in your diamond, instead of saying I'm going to help 4 people, why don't you like double it? Like I'm going to help 8 people. And create a list, and then tell us like when that's actually going to happen. Because again, if you don't have an end date, like Megan was saying, like, you know, the end of April, I'm still like stressing out about qualification at the end of April. Like, I don't care that there's no summit. Like my goals do not change. Like once you make a declaration, it does not change. And so like, I'm pushing my girls. I'm like, okay, I need 4 or 5 of you to like pop at the end of the month. Like, let's go. We've got 3 weeks. Like I'm still pushing for that goal. And so make sure you have a date, and then also like your number of people. So if you're 4 sales away, I want you to look for 8 people. If you are, one emerald away, I want you to help like 2 or 3 more people go emerald. So like really having that growth mindset instead of like the scarcity fixed mindset. And then, understand who your controllable is. So this is something that even though you tell coaches, hey, sign your hubby up so we can help you get to emerald, they don't really understand the importance until like right now when they're building to diamond. Because it's like, cool, you can put 2 people under your hubby. I want you filled first and then you fill your hubby. So like put your mask on and then go fill your hubby's account. And then try to find a best friend who wants to do this with you. Like if I had like my first 10, 20 people signed up with me were all my like high school best friends. And then I went to my college friends, and stuff. And one of them, 2 of them out of, 20, 30 people is like, okay, I'll work with you. It's so much easier to work with a best friend. It's so much easier to work with somebody you really like and helping them get to emerald than it is like a random stranger trying to build trust. So I always tell my coaches, like, build your hobby and then like go find a best friend who wants to do this with you. Maybe it's your sister. Maybe it's, your best friend Susie from down the street who you've lived next to for 10 years or whatever it is. And then like, once you have this is your declaration. Like, I'm going to help 8 people by April 28th. And then you actually like need to go get to work. And so that's where I feel like my superpowers kick in. So it's like, okay, get to work. What does that actually mean? What do you mean get to work? So basically just understanding, like, helping people change lives. You guys know you have challenge groups, you have the list I talked about, like you're getting super obsessed with it. Every time someone signs up, it's this huge party in your living room, celebrating that, getting your challengers results and stuff, and just really, ramping up all of that stuff and just really sending out the invites, really, having that confidence and that swagger. But then also remember, I told you diamond's not a decision. So remember, like, hey, where am I going? Like, where do I want to go from here? So when it's going to happen. And notice I said when it's going to happen, not if it's going to happen. It's when it's going to happen. And if you happen to miss that goal, cool. Guess what? You have another week if you want. You have another week after that. But I really want you to focus on your set date. And if you don't miss it, like, let that sting, but then also like use that to fuel your fire, not to quit. Because Megan and I will tell you, like, we've probably failed a billion times. That's why we're more successful, is because we've just failed more than you. Not because we're more special, not because we have the secret invite. It's literally because we failed way more than you have. So if you start to fail, like, tell yourself, cool, I'm starting to get successful. Like, I'm failing, I'm feeling it, like, keep moving forward. You have a plan of action to get you there. So like mapping out your stuff, how many people, when it's going to actually happen, and always have like a next goal for yourself. So like, once I hit diamond, what's my next goal? To build my hubby to diamond. Once he's to diamond, what's my next goal? And just really working from there. And then like taking those goals, like I told you, like the big monthly goals, big success club goals, and just break that thing down like weekly. Because I feel like that's really going to change your business for you. And so, whether it's helping 1 person a week or 2 people or 3 people, you never have to worry about Success Club, ever. And trust me, like, that's going to change your business, because when you're focused on Thursday to Wednesday, what you can control, and how many lives you can help and things like that, it just makes life way more fun and a lot less stressful. So that's all I got.
I love it. Thank you so much. I want to see if anybody has questions. Looks like we got one coming in already. What do you do if the Hubs is against being signed up as a coach? I'm sure you've run into that with your team also.
Yeah. So when I first started and my coach was like, sign your hubby up, I actually went to Aaron. I was like, can I sign you up as a coach? And he was like, no, I don't want to coach. And I was like, okay, cool. And I like left and I went to my coach and I was like, so he said no. She's like, okay, here's, she showed me like the idea, like what emerald is, that I can make $54 instead of like $40, or whatever it is, every time I sign somebody up, because of the cycling process. And I looked at my legs and I saw that like my coach was hustling, and so if I hustled this side, I could cycle more and I could actually make more money. And so I actually before I started coaching you guys, I had like my own fitness like challenge and stuff, and I lost my own weight and I was like feeling amazing. And somebody was like, I kind of want to work out with you, because I showed up for myself. I didn't care if like he wanted to do the 21-day fix with me, if he, you know, all of that stuff. I really made it about me. And so I went through my my challenge group. I got amazing results. I was like, I want to coach. And so by the time I was ready to coach, like he already believed in me, you know, believed in my journey. And so I'm not saying your hubby does not believe in you, but like make sure you believe in yourself too before you go and you ask him. So it's like, okay, I have a good transformation, like, or, you know, I'm going through my transformation and I know I'm going to stick with this. And Megs is like telling me to sign my hubby up. Go to your hubby and say like, hey, I want to work your account. I can actually work your account. I can work you +2. This is what it looks like for Emerald. And to be really honest, like the guys don't care about emotion at all. They just want to see like what it looks like, and they want to see like the numbers. So when I showed Aaron, I was like, here's me, here's my legs, see this giant hole, that's you. I'm going to put you there. And once I put someone here, every time I like continue to sign someone up, I get to make $54 instead of $40 or whatever it is off of. And he was like, oh, that's cool. Like $54 versus $40 is like an entire tank of gas versus like halfway, you know, or whatever it is. And so showing him the numbers, but then also once I hit Emerald every week, I was like, look at all of this volume, look at this extra team cycle bonusing. And I actually like gave him the numbers of it. And I know that sounds really stupid, but once I signed him up, and I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And then I like started to show him what I was doing. Like, even though I told him about it, he was like, cool. Like it makes more sense that you're actually, working the business. And so to keep it really dumbed down for guys, because they don't care again about emotion, is like, hey, here's the deal. I can actually sign you up and get a double discount on my Shakeology, or I can sign you up and get a double discount on my performance line. Because when they sign up underneath of you with product, you get PV and you get, you know, obviously like the commission from, if you did back in dinosaur days, we did challenge packs with DVDs. So now it's probably a little bit different, but you can still get, you know, Success Club points. You can still get commission and stuff from it in volume. But I think really just understanding yourself, the importance of Emerald, understanding yourself that you have an opportunity to make 14 extra dollars every single time. Understanding like that you cycle at a 2-to-1 ratio, like a 200 to 100 ratio, and like maybe even seeing like, hey, this week I get to cycle 2 times, like, you know, that's our light bill or phone bill or something like that. And so I just broke it down that way, but then also just letting him know he does not have to work the business, because I was like, you don't have to take sweaty selfies. You don't even have to do the workouts. You don't even have to drink the shakes. You don't even have to post on social media or sign up anybody. And he was like, okay, whatever, go do what you need to do. Cause I think for guys, they just immediately think like, do I have to do what you're doing? Or they're like, I'm not coaching, so no, it's not happening. But like I told you before, like I went all in with my fitness journey so much that he was like, can I do that with you? And so when I brought up the idea of Emerald and signing him up as a coach, I showed him like the discount part of it. And then I also showed him how it would help me and my business. And then I got really serious too, you know, because I think sometimes getting to Emerald obviously can happen in, 20 minutes if you want it to. But I think just like putting that CEO hat on and saying like, I'm getting to Emerald. And then after Emerald, here's my like next steps. And so you could even show him like this entire like diamond map, and maybe it's empty, I don't know. And just say like, here's my 12 spots. This is what I'm filling up. I need you to be at the top because everything's going to go through you. You get to cycle and then I get to cycle. Like there's only benefits from signing up your spouse. So just really breaking it down without emotion because they don't care at all about emotion. I don't know if that helps. I'm sorry.
Yes, I love that. I actually started as a single girl, and then, it was literally like 2 weeks into dating, and I was like, so by the way, can I sign you up? And he was like, how do you make money? How does this work? Like he wanted to know the nitty gritty details. He saw my passion. Like he saw that in how I worked and my work ethic and all that stuff. So I love the, like, take the emotion out of it. Like they should see that. They should see that you're excited and that you're grinding. Lead with the income and the money. And every Thursday morning I wake up and I go, we made this and you made this, and he thinks he's doing that. He's not. But.
Yeah, Aaron's always like, where's my paycheck? I'm like, oh honey, like the Shakeology you drink and never pay for. Like that's where it is.
Yeah, you paid for that product that
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
use. Okay, Lauren said her next goal is to get a stable diamond. She's hit diamond and wants to do a super strong diamond. How do
Yes.
you do all the things without getting overwhelmed? Like when you were teaching in class, all that stuff. Like how did you fit it all in without feeling overwhelmed?
Yeah, so actually being at home is a lot harder to get stuff done than it was like as a teacher with zero time. And it's because I was super intentional with my time. So I have a video and I'll share it with Meg. And I actually just have like a really quick time management ebook that I'll give you guys. But it just walks you through. I fell in love with blocked scheduling, like with like every hour on the hour, like knowing where I'm at and what I'm doing. But I have had to do that here now that I'm not in the classroom. But when I was in the classroom, like I didn't work my business unless I was sitting here on my computer, because I felt like I was trying to do all of the things all of the time on my phone. And so I would like wake up, I would work out, I would post my videos and pictures and whatever else. I would get ready for school. I would be listening to PD. I would go to school, and I was a teacher from 8 to 4. And I wasn't stressed that I was missing a call. I wasn't stressed that I wasn't posting on social media because I was a teacher and my people were teaching. Like they weren't on their phones. They weren't like, stressing about like their stories being quiet and stuff like that. And then from 4 to 5, like I was, either driving home or whatever, doing more PD. I actually unplugged from like 5 to 7, and I spent time with Aaron and the dogs and had supper and crafted up a post or something maybe. And then I went to work every night from 7 to 9 o'clock at night. I don't have kids. I understand you're like, cool, that's bedtime, like whatever. Like, so maybe you have to stay up a little bit later, or maybe you talk to your spouse and you say like, hey, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I will put the kids down. Tuesday, Thursday, can you do it so I can have, some extra time to work my business? But every single night, 7 to 9, I said no to a lot of birthday parties, suppers, like happy hours, all that stuff. I was like, nope, I need to work my business, because I know if I have an hour, 2 hours to sit down and work my business and like really get the hustle down, it's going to pay off long term. And obviously like now I'm here. So it's insane how like the compound effect does work. But what I really want to encourage you is to try not to do all of the things all of the time, because you're really going to burn yourself out. Work from a list, and use your tracker. So maybe on the tracker you find like little pieces that you can do like while you're doing your hair, or like just those little things. So like go through and like the connections and following people and adding people, you can do that mindlessly. So like maybe your hubby's watching like a terrible show and wants you to just sit next to him, like that's what you could be doing during that time. Or just finding like little pockets of time where you can do those things. But like my time management ebook that I have, it just helps you schedule your non-negotiables first, and then it helps you schedule like your actual appointments when we can have appointments and go places. It has you schedule through like your family time, and then your actual like hobby or your business time. And then it schedules like all of it. And then it even walks you through putting it on your phone. So for an example, I don't know, let me make this just a little bit darker. This is like what my day looks like on the hour, every hour. So I have it like scheduled. So if something comes up, I'm like, cool, I can pencil you in at this time, and I plug it into my schedule. So like right now I have a 10-minute alarm before something goes on. So like this morning at 6:50, it was like, hey, you have a call with Megan. And so I always just have that stuff scheduled into my phone. And once you have that, you get into such a routine that even on Saturday and Sundays, I'm like going through my routine like I would Monday through Friday. But just being super intentional with that, you guys. And also understanding that like some things aren't going to get done today, and that's okay. They're going to get done tomorrow. So like putting the super important stuff at the top of your list, and then the like not so important stuff at the bottom. Or like if there's an opportunity for you, so like let's just say for an example, you're trying to follow people every single day and like grow your network. If you miss one day of like not adding 10 people, does your business still move forward? Yes, it does. Tomorrow you can add 20 people. So just understanding like where you can place stuff on your to-do list for tomorrow. But also I was going to show you guys this. I can share this with Megs too. So I created my own tracker. So I took the Beachbody tracker and I just put it in order of like the way my brain works. So like when I wake up, I plan my day. when I wake up, I do affirmations, I do my checklist, I have daily goals, I have my PD, like I have to do PD before I work my business. And so those are at the top. And at the bottom is like checking off that I worked out and had my shake, because it's not important. Like I can do it any day. So I can share this with you too. So I just took the tracker and I just reorganized it. So when I sit down to work my business, I just go through boom, 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 like go down the list. Cause I feel like sometimes the tracker is kind of all over the place sometimes. So if you want to like, that's just what I did. I just reorganized it, I guess. So it's not like this crazy, like mind blowing tracker. You're going to be like, oh, those are all the things, but I just reorganized it. And that helps me be super intentional as well. And then as far as like when you sit down to work, I don't know why, but when I go to bed and when I sit down to work, my brain is like, you forgot to do this, you forgot to do this, you forgot to do this. And I can't focus. So I have like a little spot where I put like checklist stuff. So it's like things I need to do that aren't necessarily like with my business. So I can write them down and get them off of my brain, and then I can work and then go back to doing that. So I will definitely share that with you guys as well.
I love it. Such great advice. Oh my gosh. I feel like people are going to go back and watch that last little like 3 minutes and be like, what did she say again?
Well, okay. I was gonna share a little bit about it, but actually, so Mel Metro is doing like a mini summit today, and I'm talking about time management, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do not time management, and then I can share that link with you guys. And so, but yeah, I do have that whole thing too as well, and I can share, and I'm definitely an Enneagram 8, so.
I love it. Lisa is actually dating someone. Her significant other is an 8. So the girl that asked that question knows.
Oh yeah. My hubby is actually like he's an 8/7. He likes to, I don't know, he likes to have fun. So maybe, I don't know. But yeah, we're definitely both 8s. And so that's a good thing if we're both on the same page. Not a good thing if we're both not on the same page, because we're like, on 2 different trains. But yeah, for sure.
Whew, yeah, I can imagine that's a very interesting dynamic for sure. Okay, Lisa said, what do your weekends look like in the biz? And I'd imagine it probably looks a little bit different now than maybe when you were teaching too.
Yeah, so when I was teaching, I actually took Thursday nights off. I don't know why, but like as a teacher, Thursday night, I was spent. I was like, I'm tired. Like this is insane. And so I would actually, like I knew Friday I'd have time to work after school, because if we were going somewhere, going out for supper or something, I still had like an hour or two I could plug in. If I had games and stuff, obviously like I would just work extra hard on like on Saturday morning. But I'll be honest, I did take Thursday night off. So, like I would still try to do like some things. Like I always post, you guys, I always do that. I always invite, cause you can invite from taking like a pee or something. You can just like sit on your phone and like send invites to people. So I always invite, and I do always post. But maybe like Thursday night, I didn't follow up until Friday or something like that. But usually Thursday night is kind of like my night off. And then I worked Saturday morning sometime, and then like we would go and do our stuff, like, and I breathed. I was like, okay, like I can relax. But then Sunday, like I organize stuff, I get ready for the week. Like I was, doing the things anyway. So I would work my business on Sundays. So Thursday night was kind of like my night off. Now I work Sunday through like Friday, obviously. And I like Saturdays, I work for a little bit, and then I just like, I don't know, go do my thing. But it's actually harder for me to just not show up like for an hour or two than it is for me to just show up and get it done and like go. And so I know a lot of other like higher up coaches that like have residual income and all this stuff. Like I know some of them take off like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like MIA, and maybe just post and do stories. But I have goals, and I'm really pushing, for some stuff. And so if I'm not here, I know my coaches probably aren't here. So obviously like right now I still work a couple hours during the week, and then like Saturday I'll work a little bit before we go and do something, and then Sunday I'll work a little bit for like an hour or two. But like after that it's just the normal stories and posting. I really do feel like it is important for you to like intentionally unplug. However, like I tell my coaches, at least put one post up and run your stories if you can, because people are waiting for you. They trust you. And the moment you don't show up is like, you just break all of that trust. And so that's just like something that I've always done. No matter like what's going on in my life, I still show up for my audience, I guess, or for like my people, because they need that. And so even if you don't work your business for like a day or whatever it is, still show up publicly, I guess. And then privately, you can always like come back. And yeah, what Megan said, people are definitely, yeah, they're waiting for you. They do trust you. So just kind of keeping that in mind. But yeah, I pretty much work Sunday through Friday. And then like on Saturdays, I just work for like, I don't know, like an hour or two, basically go through my tracker and stuff. And then I do the same thing on Sunday. So yeah, it's not like a big, huge thing Saturday and Sunday, but like Monday through Thursday, I am like doing all the things, setting up my, my life and my business and stuff. So, best or top tip on guiding and leading your personal coaches to see this, want this, and believe in themselves. You like leading from the front. So if I wanted my coaches to hit Success Club, I knew I had to hit SC 20 plus, because your coaches are only going to do like 20% of what you actually do. And if you're a teacher, this makes total sense when you're standing in the front of the classroom and you have this amazing lesson and only like 10 people get it and everyone else is like, what did you just show us? Like it's because people just like, not everyone learns the same way. Not everyone sees the same thing that you're seeing. Maybe somebody has something going on in their life that like is way more important than your math lesson. So I always just realize if I want my coaches to do something, I need to do it. And then I also need to like do it again, to push them a little bit, I don't know, out of their comfort zone. So when I tell my coaches to hit Success Club, I'm already at Success Club for the month. And so there is no question. If I wasn't hitting Success Club and I was telling my coaches to do it, they probably would be like, take your own advice. Also, like I told you before, like I build diamonds every month because I want my coaches to build diamonds and I want them to see that it's possible. And sometimes just telling them to do PD is not enough for them. Sometimes they need like to see that someone else did it. And my rule in my classroom was I would never ask you to do something I'm not willing to do myself. And so it's the same thing with my coaches. So I wasn't the teacher who gave 90 problems. I was the teacher that gave 9 of them. If you can do 9 correctly, you can do 90. So in the business, if you know how to help 3 people, you know how to help 30 people. And so just getting them like foundations, and then like the belief actually comes from you doing it. Like when you hit Success Club, when you rank advance, and you're showing them it's possible along the way, that's like more belief in themselves than you could even realize. And so like with my upline, she was working the business and like helped me kind of get from diamond to 1 star. But then once I hit 1 star, I told you like our team blew up, and like I haven't heard anything business wise from her since, which was like 2 and 3 years ago. And so I had to build my own belief, and I had to build my own belief into my team. But like I looked at it, it was like, oh my gosh, she left. But I think for me, that was the best thing that ever happened, because I was like, okay, you can do this, Megs. Like you can do this. And I showed my team how I did it. Not just like, hey, look at me, but like, this is what I sent today. This is what I'm posting today. This is what's working. I'm building to diamond. Here's my roadmap. So they feel like you're with them, not like looking down on them, like telling them what to do. That definitely helped a lot, for sure. And as far as like building belief in them, even you just like messaging them like, hey Tiff, I saw your post today. I freaking love it, girlfriend. Like that's it. They're gonna be like, damn, she saw my post. She thinks I'm awesome. I'm gonna post tomorrow. Like even a tiny little thing like that. So on your tracker, it does say recognition. And I know a lot of us really tend to move and gravitate towards our challengers. I would totally do that for my coaches individually. So I do shout out ranks and stuff like that. And I do shout out Success Club, but I also wake up every morning and I like go in my back office and say like, hey, Sarah, Jessica, like Susie, I see you guys slaying last night. Like doesn't have anything to do with Success Club, but I saw that they signed people up. And so I shout them out all of the time. If I see someone like, posting something that's really hard, or diving all into this new program, I'll like message them and just like send them a voice message and just say like, I see you, like you look freaking phenomenal. I'm so proud of you. Like just little things like that build them up for sure. And I think that helps a lot too, just because even like, and I think that's kind of where we struggle at now, that like we're 5, 6, 7 star, 8 star, like working our way to the top. It's still nice for people to be like, hey, I see you. I see you. Like I see you. So when you have a message from, like when I work side by side with Mel Metro, like I literally pinch myself all of the time, but it's like I worked my butt off to get her attention, and so I'm all about like positive reinforcement if you can't tell, but like definitely is huge. And just knowing that you have all of the tools to be successful, and you are, you know, lucky enough to have an amazing upline, and like pour into that, lean into your team, and like really creating that team aspect. So every win is like everyone's win and stuff too. So that definitely helps for sure. So yeah.
Yes, great leadership advice. Like you cannot like we make leadership so scary, but it's literally like you do the things.
Mm-hmm.
You let other people know that that's great that they're doing the things too. Like it's not scary. It's like just sending a little positive message. I have to remind myself often that like me literally commenting on a coach's story that I love their story, it that is building their belief. And I forget that sometimes, you know, I get on my little to-do list of do this and do
Right.
this. And I have to remember
And
like,
yeah, like,
no, like I see you. I
yes.
see you.
Yes. And my coaches know that I actually don't watch like their stories and stuff, because I am in like a little rabbit hole. So when I do, they're like, what are you doing? You should be working right now. Like they know that, but I still, you know, yeah, like if they see me on their stories, they're like, crap, Megan's on my stories. Like, oh my gosh. But like, yeah, like just sending them like little things here and there, because you can see their posts, you know, I don't necessarily, yeah, like I think it's just nice to kind of, I don't know, just send them like a little love. But then also I was going to say, if you've ever done, I'm sure you have, because you're a teacher, like a talk aloud, like where you're going through a lesson and you're like talking to like out loud about like all this stuff. That's what I really think this business is. And I don't know if that hits any teachers, but like when you're doing something, don't just do it. Tell someone that like how you're doing it, walk them through it. So like I could hand you my tracker, but I could also like walk you through and say, this is why I put this here. This is why I check it off. And this is how this works. You will have way more success. And I realized that from being burned from like not having an upline. I was so like, I'm not going to give this to anybody. Like, this is mine. Like, oh my gosh, I just was very like, it was like my baby, you know? So I was like, oh my gosh, but now I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to share with everyone. Like just realizing that like, I don't know, like the more that we share and the more like we talk aloud helps other people be successful. And I think that also helps you be successful too. But, once I realized like my business, and that's how I run my business, is like a talk aloud, if that makes sense. So like, yeah.
Killer advice. It's such killer advice. Yes. I love that of like, hey, this is how I do it. And here's what's going on in my mind while I do it. And here's how I, make it so simple that like literally a third grader could understand how to do this business, because honestly, a third grader probably could do this business. It's so simple.
Yes. Well, and better with better graphics. No, okay.
Right. They would have like all kinds of fun dance moves and everything like that. But anyways, okay, we have used up so much of your time. Thank